A lot of patience and resilience. I think, solving a lot of problems takes a lot of time.
If that passion, that curiosity inside you, that inner child, like just keep going with it.
Just enjoy the process and have fun, and that is the most important thing.
So just try and learn to solve hard problems.
I've just got back from a couple of days at Oxford University where I was lucky enough to be invited to the Easter training camp for the Olympiad team. So in this video, I just want to share a few experiences of the students. I've got their advice about how to do well in similar competitions in the future, as well as actually explaining about why it took place in the first place and what actually happened. So the training camp was split into two halves. Half of it was for the British Physics Olympiad, which a lot of you might be familiar with. You might have had a go at the Senior Physics Challenge in Year 12, and then Round 1 and Round 2 in Year 13. But there was also the Astronomy and Astrophysics Olympiad, as it says on my t-shirt. And this is something that isn't as well known, but is absolutely fascinating. And this is something that goes well beyond the astrophysics taught in A-level physics. And a lot of it can be taught to students by themselves with the resources that they have. So there are basically two parts to this. And the whole point in the camp was to choose the top 4 students to represent the UK at the International Physics and International Astro Olympiads, which are happening this summer. So basically what they did was they looked at all of the thousands of students who did the papers this year, and they picked the top 12 students for physics, the top 12 students for astro, and they invited them along to have a go at some more lectures, some more assessments, some more lab work to choose the top 4 people. Now, this is the programme here for physics. I've got it here just to the side, and you can see it's pretty intense. Basically, they arrived on Tuesday, and then they did lectures and things until 9 o'clock at night. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it was like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. So pretty intense days. And then there's even more stuff happening on the Saturday. All the students actually stayed at Jesus College, and this is their dining room. So this was like the most fabulous location to have meals. But basically for the students, they had intense lectures, and then they had more extra work to do after this. And looking at the physics course, for example, some of the topics sounded, maybe familiar. So like thermodynamics, electromagnetism, waves and mechanical waves. And then it kind of basically went from what was covered in A-level to a much, much deeper level. The lectures, I attended one on Saturday morning, which was all about relativity. This was actually led by Anton, who some of you might recognise from the work he's done with Isaac Physics. He gave an amazing lecture about relativity. I've actually got some of the notes that I took. I'd say that I understood about 90% of this. And this was basically, some of the proofs for things like the Lorentz kind of transformations and so on. So basically, these are my notes here. But the students, even though a lot of them had never seen this before, they just got on so well with it. And I was so impressed with the way they could then understand it, have a go at problems afterwards and so on. So some proper physics was actually going down. And I think for the students who are often, kind of sailing through A-level physics, for them to then have a lot of challenging work and actually work with other people working at the same level, for them it was absolutely amazing that they could really kind of extend their physics knowledge and actually get prepared for the Olympiads which are coming up. For the astrophysics, this is a timetable here. This one I think is a lot more different to normal A-level physics. So cosmology, colours and magnitude, they're the kind of things which are maybe covered slightly in A-level physics, but then they had celestial mechanics, they had spherical astronomy, things which are never covered as part of the normal A-level physics course. And I looked at some of the questions, some of the kind of star maps and star charts, and it's just the most fascinating topic that these students have been learning a huge amount. They actually said it was like doing a whole A-level in just a couple of days. In addition to all the lectures, there was also lab work where the students actually had to do more detailed involved practicals, which were quite open-ended, and also plenty of assessments to see how they were getting on in order for the teams to be chosen. So how have you found the Olympiad training camp?
Very, very humbling, actually,
Okay.
but really fun, like super fun. I've learned so much from the practicals because I've just realised A-level practicals aren't the same at all as actual practicals in real physics and real science.
Yeah.
So it's been great. I've been meeting some really cool people, doing some awesome physics. The thermodynamics stuff was completely new. We learned about entropy, we learned about the laws of thermodynamics.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, I'll be honest. And I've just been learning about special relativity. Really quick. I'm not following all of it, but it's yeah.
But it must have been pretty intense for you, like long days each day and like pretty
Oh, yeah.
like kind of a lot of work that gets quite challenging, like straight into it as well,
They
isn't
give
it?
you so many problems and you just can't finish them all. There's entire booklets, and we do a few problems and we move on to the next topic. But I think you're supposed to do them anyway in your free time when the camp's over. So you're not supposed to do everything.
Yeah, and any tips for other people doing Olympiads in the future?
I would say like really that passion you have for physics. If that passion, that curiosity inside you, that inner child, like just keep going with it. Don't just like slog through calculations because you're told to or something. Like do calculations because you want to, like because you're curious about what the result is. And I think that's going to just take you so much further, because that's what took me from the start of year 12. I didn't even know I was going to do physics, and now I'm at a training camp. I just kind of followed my interests, just doing problems that interested me, and that's where I am now.
How are you finding the camp so far?
Exactly how I expected. Very challenging, but very useful. I feel like I'm learning a lot. We've had a lot of lectures over the course of the week, 12 hours each day, and the content is going very quickly.
Yeah.
But I find I'm absorbing a lot, and I'm also not just learning the content, but also learning how to apply it in the context of Olympiads, which is very useful.
And what would you say is probably some of the hardest content that you've covered? Because we've just been sat in on a relativity, special relativity lecture. Was that pretty standard? Was that pretty straightforward actually compared to some of the other things?
The results themselves are quite straightforward. I find with all these, the derivations have been very hard.
Yeah.
A lot more harder than the results themselves. And I find while I can understand the results, it's often quite challenging to follow the methods of how they get to the results.
Cool. And any advice for people doing Olympiad questions in the future?
Practice. Do as many as you can. Find as many as you can from all across the world. They'll all be quite similar. And yeah, once you know the content, the main thing to improve on is just your problem-solving skills. So do as many as you can and try and learn problem-solving wherever you can. I learnt it specifically from doing physics and maths and philosophy. So all of my subjects have taught me problem-solving skills. So just try and learn to solve hard problems.
How have you found the Olympiad training camp?
So I found it definitely very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's very rare to have a bunch of people who are like very interested in physics, very smart, to be with you. So it's kind of a really interesting experience. And like, you solve lots of problems, you learn lots of more advanced physics as well. So very interesting.
And how did you find out about this camp in the first place? I mean, I guess when you did the first Olympiad paper, did you know this was like an opportunity in the future?
Yeah. So I did B for round 1 back in 2 years ago. So I was in year 11. And yeah, that has always been my goal. Back then I only achieved like a bronze 2, which was only a level above commendation, and I thought maybe I wasn't suited for physics. But then, I worked hard and, here I am. So
yeah,
I guess hard work pays off.
Absolutely. And any advice for people who are maybe doing Olympiad papers in the future?
Just keep practicing, do a bunch of past papers. ISAC physics run like a summer camp as well. So if you solve a lot of challenge questions on ISAC physics, you can get selected to the summer camp, which is pretty helpful because like 4 or 5 people on this camp actually attended the ISAC physics camp as well. So
okay, fantastic. Yeah. And hope it all goes well for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
How have you found the camp so far?
I think it's an interesting experience, right? Because, I've never been on one of these camps before, so it's nice being on like a residential around Oxford and we get lectures and things. Mm-hmm. I think everyone made it to be like very intense, right? I don't think it's as bad as everyone made it, but the practicals are kind of long. We had a 4-hour one yesterday, which was a bit much.
And do you find that the practicals are probably quite different to like the Olympiad questions because it's a bit more maybe open-ended and yeah, and I guess practical work isn't often seen as like an Olympiad kind of skill, is it?
Yeah, I didn't practice anything with experiments before coming to this camp, so I was like, the only thing I have before is A-level practicals. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
There's still an element of the like Olympiad in the practicals. Like sometimes ask you for like prove this equation or something like a little bit of theory for you to plot your graphs, which I find is quite nice, especially as like compared to A-level where you just get given everything. Here you get some theory, explain it. Sometimes I feel like it's like university experiments in a sort of way. it's quite nice, and that's a little bit of elements of Olympiad inside these practicals as well.
Yeah. And what advice would you both have for people who are maybe doing Olympiad papers in the future who want to maybe be here in a few years' time? Any advice for them?
I think the best thing is to enjoy the physics you're doing, because it's very hard to force yourself to practice if you're not enjoying the questions so much, because you can't. If you enjoy the questions, you can understand them better, right? And then if you don't, then you just keep on forcing yourself to do it, and then I don't think you learn as much.
Yeah.
As that. So take your own pace and enjoy the questions rather than trying to like speed run all the materials you can find.
And for you, any advice that you have?
I've definitely my sort of perspective of the Olympiad has changed quite a lot for the last 2-3 years, and I think the best advice I've ever been given about a year ago was that have fun, do the Olympiad. I know it's very stressful, and even if you don't do so well as you would hope to have done, just enjoy the process and have fun, and that is the most important thing. And you'll realise if you do that, you may actually perform much better than usual. So it's something to keep in mind. It helps keep the pressure off. Having fun, enjoying the content, that's probably what the best advice I could give.
And something which I found super impressive was the students had actually come back having previously taken part in international Olympiads, and they were now at the front of the lecture theatre delivering content to the new people coming through. So that was super impressive to see, and I've got a couple of videos with them as well.
So I'm helping out with the training camp. I gave a 2.5-hour lecture on AC circuit theory to the people in the physics camp, and then I've also just been helping out with bits and bobs. So it all started when I did the training myself for the Easter camp in 2023, and then I was then subsequently chosen to represent the UK at the International Physics Olympiad. And then since then I've helped out with other camps in Oxford and in Cambridge. I've also written some of the questions for the round 2 paper,
And so you're now at university, but you're here actually delivering lectures. What's been sort of the biggest challenge about being stood up in front of a blackboard?
It's quite scary to have to write up the algebra yourself and not make mistakes, and when you feel the pressure of lots of people watching you. So it's definitely very good practice, and you really need to know your stuff to be able to do it well. So it's definitely a great way to learn.
And any advice for students who are maybe thinking about doing the Olympiad in the future? What advice would you have for them to prepare?
I definitely say doing lots of past papers, and also teaching really helps you learn. So whether that's just your classmates in normal physics lessons, or whether it's when you're doing a past paper, getting your friend to do it as well, and then just going through the solutions together, teaching each other the different ways of thinking and how you went about tackling the problem.
Thank you.
No worries.
So you've been here before, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
And you were part of a previous Olympiad team?
Yes, I was. We competed in Paris at the IFO July 2025.
How did you get on there?
Quite well. I got a silver. I made a lot of memories and a lot of friends, and I had a good time.
Yeah, so understatement there, saying quite well. So a silver on the world stage is pretty fantastic. But now I think what's even more impressive, well, not even more impressive, but I think equally impressive is the fact that you're now delivering lectures and you're actually helping the new team coming through. Mm-hmm. So what have you been doing for the camp this year?
So for the camp this year, I've been writing a variety of problems. So I've been involved in writing the team selection test, or round 3 as we call it.
Yeah.
And I just delivered 2 questions to the students that I thought were interesting. There were problems that I came across in my preparation and I thought illustrated some very nice concepts. If you know what you're doing, it can be done in 3 lines, but if you don't know what you're doing, it can take a couple of pages.
It is, and also I think what was really nice was the way you explained the answers. So it wasn't just giving the questions to the students, it was actually explaining it on the board and stuff. And I think that's the kind of thing that is, how old are you now?
I am 19.
19. So to be doing that at that age is pretty impressive. So what do you reckon is the biggest tip for people going through the Olympiad in terms of how they can prepare, what they should be doing if they're wanting to sort of maybe be in this position in a few years' time?
I would say the biggest thing is a lot of patience and resilience. I think, solving a lot of problems takes a lot of time, especially when each problem, you're not going to get it instantly. Some problems will just click for you. You'll be a perfect fit for the problem. And that's great, but oftentimes the things where you're learning a lot more are the ones where you're struggling a lot and it's taken you a while because you realize, oh, okay, like maybe this kind of thinking is just not helpful for this type of problem. And you kind of build a mind map of what strategies work well for certain problems and what things don't. And I think at a certain level, there is also this sense of explaining your answers clearly. Like even if you're kind of just doing problems for yourself, it's not like a paper or you're not showing it to anyone else, still having the discipline to really make sure you've laid out your answers properly in a nice way that you can actually go back and read and understand your solution is really important. Because once you get into the habit of writing sloppy answers, you stay in that habit and it's quite difficult to get out of.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so showing you're working out clearly is still important even at this high level.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I would say it's even more important here because, we fight for marks essentially. So students sit the paper and then afterwards it gets marked both by the UK team leaders and by the people hosting the event.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they basically moderate the scores. But it's much easier for us to moderate scores if your answers were laid out very nicely and it's very obvious what you were thinking and doing and you haven't made any leaps in logic that have gone from one end of the problem to the other in half a page. But if you've shown every step, then we can really say, well, why haven't you given us a mark for this? It's very straightforward to do that.
So best of luck to all of the teams from the UK who are doing the International Physics and Astro Olympiads. And if you'd like to get involved in something in the future, if this is something that you'd like to have a go at, because it takes your knowledge well beyond A-level physics and A-level maths, then speak to your teachers. Your school organises it, they then set you the papers, and then they then get sent off to be marked. So if you're thinking about doing this in the future, have a go, you've got nothing to lose, and you never know where you might end up.